So House Republicans, I believe her last name was Smith. I forgot her first name, but excuse me. But this is in the state of Michigan. They're doing an investigation on voter fraud in the state of Michigan. So good for them. And already they're uncovering some fraud. This is on the heels of ICE agents finding voter ID cards with illegal aliens. No surprise there. Why would an illegal alien have a voter ID card when it's been said over and over again by people in the establishment, people on the left saying illegals are not voting in our elections? And yet, ICE has detained illegal aliens with voter ID cards. So that statement is false. We already know this is going on. We knew this has been going on for a long time. But yet, this is just another piece of evidence to show that, yes, this is going on. And so, fortunately, and her name is Rochelle Smith. So, excuse me for not getting her name the first time, but she is a Republican representative, the Elections Committee chair in Michigan. And she wants to do an investigation. I say fantastic. Every state needs to do an investigation. Even in the state of Florida, we've had our share of controversy in our state. If anybody remembers the 2000 election, I know some of you weren't even born yet at that time. Some of my followers, some people that I talked to weren't born in 2000. I'm old enough to remember that. And it was a fiasco. So we did in the state of Florida, and there's still a lot of work to be done, by the way. But in other states, it's far worse. You look at Arizona, for example, Maricopa County. You don't think illegals don't vote there with the corruption in that county? You don't think illegals aren't voting in California? You don't think illegals aren't voting in Illinois or New York? If you were to clean up the voter rolls everywhere across the country, and this has to be done state by state, by the way, as per the Constitution. If you were to do that, that changes the math. It changes census data, okay? So California doesn't have the electoral votes or the House representatives. It doesn't have that proportional representation that they probably would have if they cleaned up the illegal alien issue there. Same thing goes with New York and Illinois. These blue states, that's part of their grift. It's kind of like the South prior to the Civil War when they were counting slaves as, I think, what was it, 2/5 or 3/5 or something like that. There was some compromise where the aristocracy in the South felt like they weren't getting enough representation because, well, the South's agrarian, there's less people there. In the North, well, they had more representation. It was more industrial, part of the country at the time. And so there was a split in aristocracies. And really part of what the Civil War was about, it was a conflict of these two aristocracies over the issue of slavery, essentially. And of course, there's more to it than that. I understand that. But that's essentially what you got going on. You got the old aristocracy here in the United States that's continuing to operate, the globalists. The neocons are also a part of this, by the way. But the Republican Party's been taken over by the grassroots. And they represent the new ruling class, the emerging rulers of the country, the emerging country itself that's emerging out of globalism. And it's a battle between these two forces. It's the illegal immigrants, or like the new slaves, and you got the American people that want proper representation, not just the special interests. So anyway, I'll put a link in the description below. So yes, ICE has found voter ID cards amongst illegal aliens.